Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex.
Celebrating British fashion and British fashion designers in my new home of the UK. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. Many of you I've known for quite a while, and then a lot of you that I've been able to meet in the past year, so thank you for the warm welcome. As all of you in this room know, we have a deep connection to what we wear. Sometimes it's very personal, and sometimes it's emotional. But for me, this connection is rooted in really being able to understand that it's about supporting and empowering each other, especially as women. When we choose to wear a certain designer, we're not just a reflection of their creativity and their vision, but we're also an extension of their values, of something in the fabric, so to speak, that is much more meaningful. I recently read an article that said the culture of fashion has shifted from one where it was cool to be cruel to now where it's cool to be kind. To that point, I feel especially proud to announce tonight's winner, who, yes, is a British designer leading on the global stage with vision. Which is why when I met her for the first time 11 months ago, I knew that we'd be working very closely together. The winner this evening is Claire Waite-Keller.
Wonderful thing. It's so special. I just have to take a moment because this woman is so amazing, and you know, to have someone like that trust you in an incredible moment in their life is something that is just the most unbelievable honor.
We finally looked over and realized it was Prince Harry. We're like, oh, okay.
So you realize it's Prince Harry, and what do you say?
I go, hey, can I get a hug later? And he's like, sure, how about right now?
But then what happened when you went to hug Meghan?
He definitely was a little scared. You could see it in his eyes, but he was like, be careful. And I was like, I knew she was pregnant. Super ecstatic for him. I'm very excited for the two of them and royal baby again. But yeah, I gave her a very delicate, light hug. And
what else did you do before you hugged her? What happened before you hugged her?
It was actually after.
Okay, so tell me, what happened after?
So after I hugged her, he goes, "Oh, be careful." And I go, "No. Congratulations."
And you touched the royal baby bump.
I'm pretty sure I touched the royal baby bump, yes.
Your vibe, boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl?
Girl.
What did that moment mean to you now that it's gone crazy viral?
So it's truly an honor to just meet them, but also it's as equal an honor for me to be here representing the U.S. at the Invictus Games, and more so, if anything, I just wanted to thank him and show him my gratitude for what he has done for the wounded, injured, and ill community, for the militaries across the world.
It is special what he's done, and you see the hugs, the happiness from all the veterans, and it's interesting because you have people here that could have fought against each other in war.
Yes, potentially. We don't ask those questions.
But it's still the spirit of the
Exactly. No, but the spirit of the games are we're here to heal through competition. Studies have been done that say 12 hugs a day, giving and or receiving, will promote growth and release positive energy. Right. So whenever we're with the group, with the AFW2 group, we hug. And as a big guy, I give great hugs.
Global leaders, today at We Day, you're not surrounded by negativity. I'm now going to try and drag my wife on stage. Guys, I am with you, and we are with you. Get to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we ask you to get on your feet and give a big We Day round of applause to amazing guests on behalf of the We movement, for the inspiration, for the excitement, for the energy, for the incredible words. Thank you.
You continue to inspire the We Day audience with your commitment to uplifting young people and to help support them in their journey of making a better world.
Thank you once again. Thank you for joining us. One more round of applause, and have a great We Day.
To the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
That was completely unscripted. One extra thing to take home. Thank you, Chrissy. Quiet. Thank you, Chrissy, and good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. As all of us in this room know, looking after our environment is a lifelong commitment. We are all part of a global family, and we share the understanding and universal privilege of being able to inhabit this earth with its natural wonders, glorious flora and fauna, and biodiversity from sky to sea that is awe-inspiring. But I use the word privilege for a reason, because with privilege comes great responsibility. To highlight this point, I wanted to share a few excerpts from a well-known conservationist. He starts by saying, "Conservation means being aware of the total environment we live in. It does not mean simply preserving every hedgerow, tree, field, or insect in sight, but means thinking rationally and consciously just as much about the urban environment as about the countryside. There is an unbalanced trend in our own time, when we have armoured ourselves with such an arsenal of machines and chemicals to do what we like to nature and to reshape the world, that it has led us to see ourselves as somehow separate from and superior to nature." He continues to say, "There was a time when as human beings we thought the world belonged to us. Now we are beginning to realise that we actually belong to the world. We are responsible to it and to each other. And whatever we do to nature, whether it is on the grandest scale or just in our own gardens, is ultimately something that we are doing to our own deepest selves. We have not been put on this planet to destroy it. Ladies and gentlemen, those words were shared in speeches dating back to 1970 and up until 2002 by my father, the Prince of Wales. And yet now, nearly 50 years later, those sentiments resonate just as much today, if not more, than ever before.
I am delighted to be able to announce that the Australian Geographic Young Conservationist of the Year for 2018 is Sophia Scarparis.
Please welcome my incredible husband, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex.
Thank you, my love.
I'm sure we are going to be good. Yes, I could feel the vibe. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome back. It's so good to see you. Thank you. Thank you so much. No. There's nothing like that. 8,000 people. But it's the body.
Let's come this way, it's a bit easier on the heels.
It was really, it has been quite,
it's full. We've met some incredible people. That's the thing about the event. It's so energizing. Even though it's a full schedule, you just feel uplifted.
Very good.
Oh, it's
Very
beautiful.
good. Fantastic.
He's been traveling a lot more than I have. I've been holding things down on this side.
I've done about 5 or 6 countries in the last 9 days.
Were you in Lesotho this time? You didn't go this time. But I was very proud to see you in Angola.
Yes.
It's precisely when the Princess was there and all the steps she has taken. It was really very moving.
It's amazing what's happened in 22 years. It's so much today. There's over 1,000 more people.
You know what? You reminded us of how we dared to forget about the
Good afternoon. Thank you for yet another wonderful welcome. I can't believe it's almost time to say goodbye to this country. From the moment we arrived, we were greeted by the rhythm and the energy of the Imbokodo girls in Nyanga, and I knew that this trip was going to be something incredibly special. So let me just begin by saying thank you to all the people that we've met on behalf of both of us, and of course, Archie. We are so grateful. This trip has meant so much to us, as I said, as a family, but also to me personally. As you know, reading about the death of Inene and hearing about the protests weighed very heavily on my mind. Gender-based violence is a harrowing reality for many women around the world. And for some, like the beautiful and talented Unene, this violence has taken women from us who had a life full of hope and dreams ahead of them. Yet, if there is any possible hope in this situation, if there is some sliver of light, it is that people are paying attention like never before. The recent crisis has sparked a much-needed conversation in South Africa, and the world is listening. I met a group of young girls yesterday who wanted to talk to me about their experience, some of which was harrowing. Yet despite everything that they had been through, they said the saddest thing was to watch the continued degradation of women, and that they wanted to be part of a movement where both women and men play a role in turning that around. As someone who's been a longtime advocate of women's and girls' rights, I worried about what was happening, and my intention for this tour was to meet with women across South Africa, to listen and to learn. So from students to politicians, from apartheid campaigners from the 1950s to teenagers on a beach, from the mothers with HIV providing health care to their community, and to the entrepreneurs who were driving the businesses of the future. They all showed me a power and a solidarity that in this moment, in this time, all women and all people can take strength and inspiration from.
because these amazing African women have discovered self-belief and found their worth. And at our visit earlier this morning, I was struck by a small sign that was posted on the wall for the female entrepreneurs. And it said, "Visualize your highest self and show up as her." This is the spirit of the women and girls I have met on this trip. They are not defining themselves by how they compare to others or making their success and marking it against historical expectations. They are simply paving their own path. They have their own voice, and they are being listened to. And as I've said before, I firmly believe that all women have a voice. They just need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to feel encouraged to listen. There is a role for all of us here. As women, we can listen to one another and lift each other up. We can raise our boys to be men who value women. And for men and boys, you can lead by example and not let your mothers, your daughters, your sisters, wives, or girlfriends ever feel that they are lesser than you. I remember being a young girl watching TV and seeing what was happening in the world, and frankly often feeling despair. Because when you continue and constantly see and hear negativity, it can be overwhelming. You can feel powerless and lost. You can feel different, confused, or like you don't belong. And I'm sure that there is a young girl or boy watching this and maybe thinking the exact same thing. So this is for you. In a world that can seem so aggressive, confrontational, and dangerous, you should know that you have the power to change it. Because whether you're here in South Africa, at home in the UK or the US, or around the world, you actually have the power within you to change things, and that begins with how you connect to others. I have learned from the people I've met here that whether it's about society's expectations of masculinity or femininity, or how we divide ourselves by race, or faith, or class, or status, everyone has value, and everyone deserves to be heard and respected. And if you live your life in that way, your generation will start to value each other in ways the rest of us have not yet been able to do so. Over the past 10 days, our family's had emotional moments, we've had poignant moments, we've had spiritual moments, we've met inspirational leaders in every walk of life, and we've been treated to incredible food, music, and dancing. But above all, we've been able to meet the people that are the rocks behind the sort of work that really means so much to us. It has been affirming to learn that we're not alone in the things that we believe in and the principles that we hold so dear. No matter how different our lives may seem, Africa, you have made us feel part of your community, of our shared community. And on our visit in a mosque in Bokap, one of the women told us that the way we change the world is to honor the dignity of difference. And in this, we can find strength. When we can bridge divides and meet as human beings with different experiences, we can all find connection. And in that connection, we become more aware of one another, more aware of our place in the world. We find hope and self-worth. We can find optimism and courage. And ultimately, we can find joy. So whether for Harry, Archie, and me in South Africa, or for my husband as he was traveling through Botswana, Angola, and Malawi, please know that you have given us so much inspiration, so much hope, and above all, you have given us joy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys, and good afternoon. Thank you for the warm welcome. I think it's one of those garden parties that really kicks off once we've left. So the people who are laughing, that's exactly what happened. Although I spent a great deal of time here over the years, this visit in particular has filled us with hope and optimism. This morning we were among young social entrepreneurs in Tembisa, and it is testament to what investment, technology, and the right support can really do to transform lives and communities. These young people weren't in it just for themselves. Each and every one of them was using the opportunity they'd been given and the skills that they've learned to give back and support more people within their own community. It is also a perfect example of what we want the UK-Africa Partnership to be about. Youth, culture, innovation, high-tech business, investment and fast-changing economies. All of you here today have a part in supporting a young and dynamic African economy, and I hope that you will use your links to the UK to help you do that. Across the countries I've visited, and I think I've chalked up 5 in about 9 days, I'm reading it. I've heard the same story, and it's one of increasing stability, growth, innovation, and hope. But harnessing this potential needs the creativity and innovation on show here today. It needs business, it needs investment. It needs partners working across borders and across communities. This is why we are concluding our visit here in Johannesburg, one of the continent's most vibrant and dynamic cities. Looking around this garden and in this tent, we have people here that are at the forefront of the UK and Africa business and investment partnerships. A relationship in trade that totaled £10 billion last year. And we can do more together. Our companies should be leading the way in investing the billions that will drive growth across the whole region. When Africa prospers, the world prospers. The Africa Investment Summit that, as already mentioned, we will be hosting in London next year will be a fantastic opportunity to showcase the potential here to the world. This is truly a continent of opportunity. I want to thank you again for the warm reception here today and everywhere that myself and my family have been. As I said to the young entrepreneurs this morning, Africa will always have a special place for me.